Alrighty, so let's go ahead and move into our IDE. And so this is for the section on making use of variables. So I'll create a new folder here in my TypeScript training. And I'll call it O2 variables. And I'll also create a new file in this folder here. I'll call it sampletypes.ts. Okay, so I'll simply go in here and just define some variables here. So found Boolean equals true. Grade equals 88.6. First name Anoop. Last name Kumar. And so notice here on the strings, you can use double quotes or single quotes, totally up to you. And let's go ahead and display some output using a console.log. And so I'll simply do a console.log on each one of these variables that we've defined. And so for the names here, I'll just use the string concatenation here. Hi, first name plus last name. So let's go ahead and open up a terminal window here. Just kind of resize it a bit. And let me just kind of zoom out, give us some space here. So let's move into that new directory that we have, O2 variables. And now I'll just compile the file using TSC, sampletypes.ts. And so now I'll use the node command to run the application. So here I have node sampletypes.js. And then here we see the output true, the grade is 88.6, and hi, Anoop Kumar. That looks pretty good, I like it. So now let's zoom in here and let's try and break it. Let's see how this compiler thing works. So here I'll set found equals 0, right? So that should generate an error because, you know, a Boolean can't be assigned to 0. Good. So even the IDE tells us this. I'll set the grade equals to A. And again, a little error message there, which is great. Good job. I'll try and make some weird assignments to first name. Okay, great. So I have this and I save it. Now let's go ahead and compile this. TSC sampletypes.ts. And in the compiler, good. So it says it found 3 errors, and it'll kind of list out those errors. And these are kind of the same ones that we saw in the IDE. So that's cool. I'm happy about that. And also, if you click on this little problems tab here, you'll see those same messages. So again, good stuff. They even tell you the line number and so on. So you know exactly where you have to go. So one thing to note though, and this is kind of scary, by default, TSC will still generate a JavaScript file. What? So to prevent this, you need to add a special compiler flag. So no emit on error. Okay, great. So let me go ahead and comment that stuff out. I don't want to break anything right now. Just get the compiler to pass. And then we do a TSC sample types. Okay, good. So everything's good to go there. And if we run it, then we get our output. Okay, that's awesome. I like that part of it. Now, what I like to do is kind of move back into this example, and I want to make use of the template strings here. And so remember, the template strings make use of that back tick. And so instead of having to do all the concatenation with the plus symbols, I can simply reference the variables using the $ curly brace. So I could say hi first name, space, and then $ curly brace last name. So it'll actually reference those variables. All right, so I save it, compile it, and then run it. We have two messages here for Hi Anup Kumar. So the first version is with the string concatenation, and the second one is using the template strings. Alrighty, so this is a good example. So we kind of went through and played around with creating variables and also displaying output. So good job.